Well, hey everyone, this is my bee update for the beginning of April, and I wanted to let you guys know what I've been doing with my bees. I've been really busy just studying about how to do a split, because last year when I did a split with my beehives, my neighbor actually came over and did the split. I didn't remember what he did, and I don't know, I guess like a new beekeeper, I'm afraid to do something wrong, but I did want to do a split, and then I also wanted to do a nuke box and do a split that way, or just actually raise a new queen in a nuke box. Back to my hives though, I've had these two hives, this one for about 2 years and this one for I guess about 1.5 years. This original hive, the queen is about 2 years old. The hive turned aggressive. Once I checked them in March. Every time I checked this hive, and I kept on thinking maybe I was doing something wrong. Either it was a windy day, or maybe I was not being, gentle enough, checking the hive. Something, I was thinking I was always doing something wrong, but 5 times out of checking this hive, they were so aggressive. They were stinging me through my suit. They got me through my bee jacket and through my bee gloves. So they were as gentle as I could be on a sunny day. They were still just all over me, all over my not my mask, but my bee netting around my face. So I wanted to requeen this hive and get a new queen. I thought that was something you could do to an aggressive hive, is just requeen it and it would settle down after those bees that were in there, after a few months after the original bees started dying and the new queen started laying. So I thought that's what I needed to do. I still hear that that's the best thing to do, is requeen the hive. This hive was so gentle, I can check it right now, and the bees are flying around me. They're fine, no stings at all. So since I found out this was an aggressive hive, I started calling around for a queen, and I didn't know I had to get my order in for a queen like back in November or December. I couldn't just get one in a week. My neighbor said that he was raising queens, and he would get me one, and then one for my split also that wasn't an African cross, which he had said that this one was. This one is not an African cross. Anyway, both queens lay great. They lay on the frames from end to end, side to side, top to top, just solid laying. This one had a lot of honey last year. This is the only one that I harvested honey from. So I really hated to get rid of her, but anyway, my neighbor hasn't. I've been to him a couple times to get the queen, and I don't think he is raising queens right now. I'm not sure, but I decided to do a few on my own. So I split the aggressive hive last week. I split the aggressive hive, put it into this little purple brood box down here on the bottom, and like I said, it was just almost a week ago. I checked it this morning, and they have five or six queen cells started. One of them, I believe one of them is already capped over, and they had no queen cells at all. When I split them, no queen cells. So now they have, just in that short of time, they have 5 to 6 queen cells going on. One of them is just recently capped over. So they're raising their own queen, even though it's from the aggressive hive. I have a plan. I also split, or not split, but I took some of the frames of eggs out of the nice hive and put it in my little purple nuke. I'll show you that in a minute. And checked that this morning, and they have like 9 or 10 queen cells started. They're just about halfway, I guess it's just about halfway going on the queen cells. So when I get the queens from the nice nuke, I am going to requeen both of these. The older queen that should be requeened or taken out anyway, and then the small little purple brood box. So I'm sorry, I just did all that from memory. I didn't bring out my notes, so I hope you guys understood what I'm doing here, or what I have done. to be leaving for a few days to go visit my mom. And I'm hoping that all goes well with the queens while I'm gone. I'm going to check them again the morning that I'm leaving, just to see if, you know, the one queen hatched. I don't think she will. I don't think it would be enough time. But anyway, that's my bee update. I'm going to get these guys some pollen patties today and some sugar water, and then that'll be it. But that's my bee update. That's what I'm doing. When I'm done, what I'm going to have is I'll have 2 new hives, and that'll be great. I don't think I should have any more than 4, being in such a kind of a closed neighborhood. We're on the corner lot, and then we have 3 backyard neighbors. So, you know, they don't mind me having bees now, but I don't want to have probably more than 4 hives. I think that's pushing it. So anyway, you guys, thanks for joining me on the bee update on what I'm doing. I will say one thing, that after I split this so-called aggressive hive, that little purple brood box is not aggressive. I can check them without anything, but I like to wear rubber gloves, and I'll wear a veil, and that's it, and I can check them fine. I don't, these guys didn't seem aggressive, although I did suit up to check these, or to check them after I had split them when I was working with them. They seem to settle down after that split, but I still want to do the requeening. This is a great queen. She's putting out really nice, friendly bees. So what I'll probably do is have the genetics of all 4 of my hives basically the same. They'll be from this queen, and then who knows what drone. But anyway, you guys, thanks for joining me today. If you guys do like my channel, please subscribe. I'll get out videos on a more regular basis, I hope, and I'll talk to you guys later. God bless everybody. Bye-bye. What I'm going to be doing is getting into the nuke and giving them some sugar water and a part of a pollen patty. I'll try and pull out the frame that has the queen cells on it and show you guys, especially those of you who don't. If you don't know what a queen cell is, it's a cell that normally has an egg in it for a worker, and because the bees don't have a queen, they start feeding that egg royal jelly. Well, they're feeding it royal jelly anyway, but after a few days they stop for it to turn into a worker. If they want a queen, they keep feeding it royal jelly, and they create this elongated cell that looks like a little tiny peanut. So there are a lot of bees in here. I don't think they're going to smoke down very easily. This first frame is just honey, and no, it's not either. This first frame is capped brood, larva, and then had eggs on the outside. So I put that in there for them to use the eggs. Okay, and this is the frame with the new queen cells on it. I believe this is the one. And I'll show you that real quick and then get this, sorry, get off there. And then get this put back together. I didn't want to be in there but just a couple of seconds. And here are the three queen cells right there, or 3 of the 9. If you can see those. There they are right there. They're getting started, and I just actually smashed one of them just a little bit, but I believe I'll be okay since they do, like I said, they have 9 of them going on. And those, I don't know how far those are, if they're just halfway, but I'm glad they're starting to replace their queen. And there are a couple on that side too, underneath the bees. You can see there's one right there at the end of my finger. And then one of the other frames in here has I think 3 on one side and 4 on the other. So I'm going to be getting a queen and hopefully a mated queen. And get the lid back on. Oh, I wanted to give them part of a pollen patty too. Here you guys. Scoot over. I don't know if that's all going to fit in there. Just since, I really don't have to put the pollen patty in there. And I don't really have to put the sugar water. Get off you stung me on the hand. I don't have to put that pollen patty in there, but since I'm leaving for a few days, then I want them to have everything they might possibly need. Well, what I'm going to do is get in this split from the so-called aggressive hive. What I do want to do is just take a look at the queen cells, how far along they're coming, give these guys some more sugar water, and give them half of a protein or a pollen patty. So I think I mentioned earlier in the video that they don't seem to be as aggressive, or these guys don't, as they were when they were in the whole hive. And that may be something to do with a hive that you think is becoming aggressive, is to do a split or two and to get them split up. I don't know. Haven't heard that, or I haven't seen that. So let me get their sugar water filled up real quick, and then I'll get to the queen cells and show you guys how many queen cells are in here and how they're coming along. I think that's fine for now. Probably last them until I get back from my trip. Let me get these. This is just an empty frame that I stuck in there because there wasn't a frame there, so stuck an empty frame in. I believe most of the queen cells are on a plastic frame that I have in here, so I'll take that out and show you not only the queen cells, but I think there's one or two that are already capped, and they'll just be waiting for the queen to come out. I want to be really careful with this because it does have most of the queen cells on it. So let me show you this real quick. Well, I'm hoping that this shows up on the camera because I can't see. There's the sun on the camera screen. I can't see, but you can see the one in the middle that's got a cap on it, new cap. There's another, at least 2 or 3 that they're working on, and I believe, oh no, those are drone cells. These are drone cells down here in this corner, for those of you who don't know. And when the bees are starting to, or thinking about swarming, they start producing drone cells, and then they'll start queen cells also. So maybe I can hold that with one hand. The capped queen cell, and then these 2 have larva and royal jelly. So they're working on, they're working on those 2. Hate to lose that. And 2 or 3 have larvae in them. And before I did the split on the aggressive hive, what I wanted to do was check to see if they were thinking about swarming, having a lot of drone cells and having queen cells, and they were a lot of drone cells, and I destroyed probably 9 queen cells that were just halfway. They had larvae in them, royal jelly. I took those off, and then second thought, I thought I would do the split, and that's when I put the frame in here that had 1 queen cell on it, and they've gone ahead and they've made more. So we get to split back together. Well, you guys, that's it for what I'm doing with my bees today. Thanks for sticking around and being with me while I do this, and I hope everything that I explained with the bees was understandable. So I'll be talking to you guys later. See you later. Bye-bye.